Triumph Motorcycles has long been a frontrunner in the race to the top within the adventure bike genre, and the all-new Tiger 1200 XRT is a perfect example of why that is. This is Triumph's top-shelf adverb model with all the available bells and whistles built right in. That's on top of an already extensive rebuild that the factory says brought in over 100 improvements over the outgoing model, so this ride is totally up to date with cutting-edge technology of both the comfort and safety variety. Join me while I check out Triumph's flagship model for the road-centric adverb market and see how it stacks up against some other likely candidates. The fender struts mount to the fitting at the bottom of the inverted front forks, and the supports double as fork guards that turn grime and grit away from the swept area of the inner fork tubes before it can chew up the fork seals. Blackout treatment shades the front end starting with the struts and fender that join the new cast aluminum wheels and drivetrain for a touch of the dark side that I really like, plus it works well with the Corsi red and crystal white hues Triumph has on the palette this year. Dual headlights ride in the wide fairing with all LED lighting that includes a set of DRLs to improve visibility safety during the day plus an adaptive cornering lighting feature that detects the lean into the turn and lights the way where you're actually headed instead of just where you're pointing. Up top, the XRT alone gets an electronically adjustable windshield that comes vented to prevent the head buffet fatigue. Heated hand grips come as part of the standard package, as do the hanguards along with the backlit handlebar switch cubes and joysticks that help you navigate through the various menus on the full-color TFT display. Oh, and there are plenty of features you can fiddle with to be sure, but more on that later. The support system is no great mystery on this machine as the tubular steel trellis is plainly visible since the factory wasted nothing on superficial body coverings and left it all hanging out for the world to see, what little there is. Anyway, since the structure uses the engine as a stressed member to replace a whole section of the frame, it's left with a steering head that comes set at 23.2 degrees, a couple of spars and a hard point for the single-side swing arm for the main structure. Smaller diameter tubing makes up the subframe to complete the standing rigging. WP provides the suspension with a set of inverted 48mm forks up front that come with electronically adjustable damping and a monoshock out back that comes with same plus an automatic preload adjustment and semi-active variable damping feature. The drivetrain comes with all sorts of electronic handlebar on board, but first let's look at the hard and crunchy bits, shall we? Trumpet's power plant of choice is a liquid-cooled inline triple that runs an 85mm bore and 71.4mm stroke for a total displacement of 1,215 cc and an 11:1 compression ratio. Ride-by-wire technology carries the rider's demands to the engine, but the inputs are more like suggestions than actual rules since they're all filtered by the cornering traction control feature as well as the riding mode gadget. Much like the ABS, the TC is switchable if you'd rather have the natural feel, no gidgety, and the XRT comes with a total of 5 rider modes, one of which is rider programmable so you can try your hand at tuning. A keyless ignition provides some built-in security, and who can't use a bit more of that, right? The XRT comes with a fancy hill hold control that does exactly what the name implies. It holds the rear brake to free up your right foot so you can get both of your training wheels deployed for stability. Yeah, there's been a few times I've wished I had something like that. Cruise control adds another layer of luxury, and the handlebar even extends into the 6-speed gearbox as the Triumph Shift Assist gives you clutchless, push-button gear changes up and down the range to give that left hand a break. How does it perform? Well, the factory claims a total of 139 horsepower at 9,350 revolutions per minute with 90 pounds of torque that come on fully at 7,600 revolutions per minute, and that's respectable power even given the 535-pound dry weight. Whether you pick the crystal white or the Corsi red, you can expect to shell out $21,050 for the MSRP. At a glance it seems like a lot, but this is the top model in the range, so bear that in mind. Thanks for watching.